Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys how to do the grids now. How I set this up, it's gonna go for my drawing one class and then also the drawing two. I didn't want to make two videos, but essentially it's the same thing, so I think it's gonna work out. So here we go. All right, so let's start off with this right here. Now, this for the people that didn't understand it or were absent yesterday, that didn't, or today, that didn't see this. I'm gonna post this up on Blackboard. Now, let me talk about this really quick. All right, so the whole first thing what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to do 1 inch by 1 inch, um, 1 inch by 1 inch squares. So you can do 1 inch across this way, 1 inch up and down, 1 inch across vertical. And what you end up doing is doing vertical lines, horizontal lines, and you're gonna break it down into smaller squares. So essentially having the big, instead of drawing the whole picture, I want you to just concentrate square by square by square. So in other words, you end up doing one square to another square to another square. It's a simple way to do this. Now, said it. So the ratio is from 1 to 2. In other words, so how many squares you count on this? Say for example, is 6 squares across. It's gonna be if it's 1 to 2, you're just doubling the size. So if it's 6 across, it's gonna be 12. 12 across. So if it's 6 inches across, it's going to be 12 inches across on your newsprint paper. So if it's up and down, let's say for example, it's seven squares up and down, which is 7 inches on the piece on this, it's going to be 14 inches on your newsprint. So in other words, all you're doing is just doubling the size, and that is it. So it's a 1 inch to 2 inch ratio. Now, I've talked about this. I'm not going to go much into it, but I want to get to here's the object. Here's what you guys for drawing one is what you guys are going to do is this. Now, let me take you step by step. It's 1 inch by 1 inch squares. So you're going to do the same thing you did here, which is 1 inch by 1 inch. You're going to do the same thing over here. You're going to start from here, do it all across, all the lines across, just going across 1 inch by 1 inch all the way around. So in other words, it's going to end up looking like this. Now, that's the easy part. That's the really easy part. This is where, okay, well, the next part is where most people are going to get confused, but I'm going to explain to you as simple as I can. You're going to do 1 inch to 2 inch ratio, meaning you're just going to double the size. So here's your newsprint. And what you do is you do this. You go, instead of having 1 inch, it's going to do 2 inches. So it's 2 inches here, 2 inches there, 2 inches, 2 inches, so on and so forth. And the same thing here, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, all the way around. So essentially you make a little frame. Now the next thing is you do is this. You do the squares. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So in other words, every 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, and so on and so forth. I wasn't going to do the whole thing, but that's the basic gist of it. And then here's what you guys are going to do. Remember, this isn't the same setup that you have, that your homework is, but I just wanted to show you this because I think we were getting confused about how we were going to do this. So essentially what you're doing is you're just doing the outline of the objects. Look at the outline, look at the outline, look at this ball is in front of the cylinder over here, just outlines. That's all you're doing. And leave the grid there. Do not erase the grid. Just leave it there. Just leave it there. And then for my drawing 2 class, this is what you guys are going to do. Just leave the grid there and then just follow up on it. Now, for example, if you do have problems, then what you can do, you want to make more details, you make another grid, you break the square into smaller squares. So you do here, this is 2 inches, so you go to the 1 inch mark, 1 inch mark, you make another line here, then another line here, and you break it into smaller squares. Simple as that. And that's fine. You don't have to erase it. Just leave it there. Do not erase the grid. And I hope this works. You guys understand this. If not, email me. I'm going to post it. And as I said, I'm here for you guys. So just let me know. All right. This is the end.